Hey, it's Curly, and today we've got ourselves Set 5, Omniscient's Awakening. This set has been highly sought after because of basically these two, not this guy actually, this guy and this guy, as well as this lady, doing relatively well in Japan. Specifically, these two have been doing really well. So this is a new form of Raziel and a new form of Levy Dress. Both of these are basically the top two decks currently out of this format. Marga is kind of just there, hasn't been really doing as well compared to them two, still a good deck. And Odium has just been a massive fan favorite since revealed and now in this set. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this set myself because there's not a lot in it for me personally. But, hey, maybe this unboxing will change that. Let's jump into it. So let's take a look here. We've got ourselves. Alright, almost broke it. No, we pulled through in the end. So I've been told that they've changed this up a little bit. So we still don't have box toppers anymore. That's ended since BT03, I think was the last time we got box toppers, or BT02 definitely had box toppers. But they've added this little new pamphlet, right? So I'm always talking about these, watch Divine anime, blah blah blah. This one, instead of talking about the Divine anime, it has the usual Bang Dreams stuff and the store. They actually have a pamphlet here for Dear Days, which is actually coming pretty soon. So that's kind of cool. Advertising the game makes a lot of sense. My thoughts on the game aside, pretty cool to see that included. So we've got here the box and the packs. Let's put the right side here. I'm always losing track of which ones I decide to do, but we'll do the left side here first. Pack looks alright. It's got this sort of like orangey, I don't want to say yellow, I think it's more orangey, but kind of like yellow orange that I'm not a big fan of. Like, I love orange, but not so much this color per se. I originally thought these had, I think it might have been in Japan actually, that these actually had different designs, where we had Now and we had Akina with their respective units on the pack designs. But looks like for English they decided, screw you guys. But let's go ahead and open up this first pack here. Right, I could be wrong about that. I'll put a disclaimer somewhere if I looked into it and I was actually wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That in Japan they had different sleeves, or sorry, not sleeves, designs for the packs, right? This product is also extremely different from the Japanese side as well, because there is, as is, you know, become customary, collab that came out in this set in Japan, but it is missing here in the English version. So this set has a lot of interesting things here. So starting first off, in the common slot, every nation got one of these anti-G-Zone cards. So we're gonna see a lot of comments that have this effect that just say, if your opponent has a card in their G-Zone, this gets 5k attack and shield, and if they have a face-up one, it becomes 10k attack and shield instead, which is pretty interesting. We got some new hero support as well, not the best if I'm being honest, but it's, you know, it's cool, I guess. We've got some support for Levy Dress, as well as Lascaria for Starkea. Here's the Dark States version. The card looks really cool, really cool. And then we got ourselves this new common package. These are pretty good in sneak peeks. They changed the name, which kind of sucks because in Japanese the archetype name, I guess, was like Year in Bloom. Here it's Abundant Yields, which I guess is, you know, a little shorter, I guess. But we have 3 different cards called Abundant Yields, and they do 3 different things. This here is a grade 3 that says on place. You counterblast 1, look at the top 7 for 2 cards with Abundant Yields in their card name, including itself. Call it to rear, then shuffle your deck, and if you did 1 or less, you call up to 1 plan token. So you can technically play this with, and then, you know, play no other copies, play a plan token, or you can play this, call itself, and then CB1 again to thin out your deck even more, which is pretty cool. Then it says that when this stands by a card's ability, you can Soul Blast 1, choose one of your other rear guards in the one of your other rear guards with the Abundant Yields name in the same column as it, and stand it as well. So something like Granfia, you can stand the whole column, which is kind of cool. And then here is the anti-G-Zone card. Or actually, no. We got another set of, this time it's actually rares, but we got another set of cards for every single nation. These are actually quick start deck boss support. So this one's for Triumph Dragon. They all say if you have Triumph Dragon, this gets intercept, can intercept in back row, and has 5k shield. So we're going to see a bunch of cards that have that same text as well. The other thing that we're going to be seeing as well is Blitz orders. There we go. That was not planned, but hey, I'm just that good. I'm nasty with it. So we have Blitz orders that fall into the same category as anti-G-Zone cards because they have some sort of generic Blitz order effect that they can be played in any deck for the most part. But then they also have an extra sort of bonus if your opponent happens to have a G-Zone, right? So we're going to see a lot of cards like this as well. Got some Greedon support. This is some Lascadia support. We got ourselves some Raziel support. I really won't see any play. We got ourselves these energy tokens, which really annoy me. Let's see if this is it. Okay. Yeah, because it's just the ones from set 2 over again. Nothing new, which is kind of lazy, but whatever. It is what it is. The design might be... No, I'm pretty sure it's the same exact design. Because I got a Hikari one, and I was really upset because I was just like, what the hell? Like, it made sense because she's, like, on the box, but in any case. Here's the Astrum card that we're talking about. And we're getting our first triple rare here in the Sequence Wizard. So this is for Liel, specifically Liela Morta. This says when this is placed on rear during the main phase specifically, if you have the grade 3 rated Liel, you can CB1 look at the top 5, choose up the 1 card, grade 3 or less, call it, then shuffle. Then when a card is bound, another unit I should say, is bound by your Vanguard ability, this guy gets 5k and you may soul charge 1. So allows you to get a little bit of an extra soul, right? Which the deck typically suffers from for the most part. We got a pretty cool little guy here, Drag Ritter Munstahar, who just gets 5k every time, for each, I should say, of your opponent's rear guards retired by your Vanguard specific effect, right? We got a new Eugene in this set. We got this really pretty girl, Helenis. Really pretty art for Eugene. This cool grade 3 here that can EV to get some shield. We got some Armageddon support. Here's the anti-G-Zone Blitz order for Dark States. Wow, we're gonna show a double rare for the bonding, this is the bonding monster Jumbo Crusher, who is for the Egdoligma, Edligma here, right? Who actually becomes really viable and playable thanks to this card and one other card that's in this set. So this is our double rare here. This says that when it attacks, if you have the Egdoligma, or the Bat as people call it, as your Vanguard, and if you have 3 or more different orders in your order zone, you CB1, Energy Blast 3, draw 1. This gets 10k power at the end of the turn. Then if you have 5 or more, this gets a crit. Both of these are until end of turn, and the Bat restands the rear guard, so you can restand this and do its effect again to get, you know, more crit and power and draw, right? Speaking of the double, here is Eugene, right? We got ourselves the new Inferno of Duststorm Eugene. What a horrible box so far. There's a lot of big hits, and I gotta tell y'all, Eugene ain't it, unfortunately. So for one, Eugene is crazy because he's a double rare. Which is insane on of itself, right? They printed a new boss, a new upgraded boss, but they made it a double rare. They have not done that ever. This is the first time, so whether or not we'll see that for other units, we'll see. But he did get the continuous text where he's counted as the original Eugene, which is kind of nice. He has the same effect where you rest 2 rear guards, retire a unit, but this time you retire all rear guards in a column, and you choose the column. So this gets around resist, I should say. Then it says that when it attacks a Vanguard, you CB1 Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5, choose up to 2 grade 3 or less cards from among them, call them each 2 of the same column, so you can't do 2 front rows, which is kind of whack. Shuffle the deck, then this unit gets 5k at the end of the turn, but if your opponent's grade 3 or greater, and they have 3 or more open rear guards, the units you called out also get 5k. So, a lot of unnecessary restrictions for not a crazy effect, where a lot of other decks can kind of do that, but more. Even Barrow can do more than that with his one effect, and it's less cost, right? We got some Leo Chaffel support here. Here's the anti-G-Zone card for Lyrical, as well as the Blitz. We got another, like, common-ish package, budget package. I don't know what we really call them, but there's just 3 cards that work together. These are the Amicable Pastisseries, which are really cool because these are girls that were in the background of art. They're the girls from Sweet Sweet. They were in the back of a lot of in the background, I should say, of a lot of Medio cards. So it's cool that they finally got their own cards. This one, it says here, on play Soul Blast, 1 look at the top 7, pick a card with the same archetype name as itself that's not itself, or a tight trio from among them, which is a normal order that they get. Add it to your hand, shuffle your deck.
Wow.
You're gonna get a double rare here in the Knights of Heavenly Impetus, Deli Prezia? Pricey? Della Pricey? So, when this is placed by the ability of Alden, choose one of the other units, it gets 5k at the end of the turn. Then if it was placed on a rear with a unit, it gets 10 instead of 5. And it also, if you have Alden, this gets 5k shield. So, nothing really crazy. We're going to get a triple rare here, which is really the only deck that I care about in this set, to be honest, personally. So this is Flam Glam Support Guitarist Grenadine. I love how they couldn't fit everything else, so they had to abbreviate it. But so this card is actually really good, and I've actually seen people mess around with this and another card, and some other, well, no, this and the card from the previous set in like Chris Rain and stuff, which is pretty interesting. But this says when this is placed on rear from hand specifically, CB1, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as Flam Glams as you have. Choose a card from among them, put it to your hand, and shuffle. So that's pretty good. Then it says, if you have a grade 3 or greater Flam Glam in its card name, you EB2 retire this, and it's you the player get the effect, red text, that all of your Flam Glams, they get 13k base power instead as their original power, which is pretty good because it makes everything, you know, including the grade 3, the grade 0 that you ride into mid-battle, it'll have a lot more power than just its base 6k. Right, here's the first one of the anti-G zone blitz orders that was revealed, the one for Storkia. Actually pretty good because it uses draw triggers. Here is a Petroka card, which is kind of nice. Here's the second of the trio. This one's like my least favorite of them, which sucks. I actually like this girl, I think, the most out of the 3 of them. But her effect is not so great. She says when she boosts one of her friends, Amicable Pastisserie, you mandatorily soul charge 2 and she gets 5k. So, kind of sucks. We're gonna get ourselves the FR for the box, which is going to be the Academic of Records Written. So this is a grade 3 for Solarian. It's actually kind of good. So when this attacks, if a normal unit was revealed by the ability of your Vanguard with Solarian in its card name, you can have this get 10k to the end of the battle. And if you do, at the end of the battle, put this into Soul. So it's a 23k attacker, and it just goes to Soul for free, no cost. Then it says, if you have Solarian while this is in Soul, you can bind this, and you can choose a normal unit from your drop, put it on top of your deck. So it allows you to instantly get what you need. So it may or may not be good when we get to the Solarian Mask next set. Here is the card for Marlene, and here is the card for Sarassel. Yep. But yeah, aside from Flame Glam, there's not really a lot that I care about in this set, to be honest. It's the first set, I feel like in ever, right? ever, that I just kind of almost wanted to skip. I just felt like, if anything, it was just a FOMO that made me buy into it. And just for the sake of opening product for the channel, essentially. We do at least get the FR here, the Babith Harpoon Dragon, which is for Cristianos. Looks really nice in FR, actually. I really like that. We're gonna get the original version as well. And some random support card for Varga. Yeah, because like a lot of the main decks, I don't really enjoy them as much. The only one I really would have enjoyed is Leverage, but my fiance is probably gonna end up playing that because it is in straight camp. And it's kind of similar to Magnolia and Magnolia Mask, the 2 decks that she plays the most, right? But I don't really care about Raziel and Odom. I just don't really feel super interested in the deck, and those 3 decks are really expensive, right? So I'm even less incentivized to play them. We're gonna get a triple rare here in the Drag Ritter Badia here, who is going to be for Alecalibra. So when this is placed on the rear, you look at the top 7, choose up to 1 card that's not her with the overcharge or the order from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Then if you reveal the card, choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul or discard it. So helps you build up soul, if anything. Then it also says on overcharge, this gets 10k, right? So the usual overcharge sex, where if it's chosen by Alekalibre, this unit gets 10k power. So it becomes a 15k plus, right? Because Alekalibre gives them 5k normally. So this guy's kind of interesting because it's like if his attack is 23 or more, he gets another 5k, so he's automatically 28. So pretty interesting. So on Persona, right, he's automatically 28. Here's the anti-G zone card for Keter. Here's another overcharge card. Here is some random vanilla card. Here is the Destined Timepiece. You only need one of these, but this is for Liel Odom. So it's very similar to the I forgot what they called it, but the self-modification gauge, I think it's called auto mod gauge, right, in English. For Impaldio, this one is just for Liel Odom here, right? So you just put this into your order zone. You cannot ride anything that's not Liel, and then you can have access to regress gauges, which that deck focuses on, right? Got another Flam Glam card here, which is pretty cool. And they forgotten Alden card here. Yep. No, actually we have one more. I was gonna say we can move on to the right side here, but not just yet. Not just yet. Let's see what the left side has for us. We got it. Sounds like any Petroga card, which is nice because she's really pretty. This set is also really weird because it's kind of small, right? Specifically because there's no collab in this set, and that was accounted for in the original product, but it's not here. So you kind of get, I feel like, a lot of reprints. Not reprints, repeats. We got a new doll here. There's another new Direful doll. I really like the art of this one. She's also really tired, like me. But this one doesn't really see a lot of play. I'm going to forcefully make it see play. We got our SR for the box. Sound of Surging Brave Shooter. He's going to be also a triple rare. This is another one of the cards that every nation got in this set. This is another anti-G zone card. You think with all the anti-G zone cards in this set, I'd like this set more. But so you can only use this if you do not have a G zone with cards, right? Then you have two effects. You can discard this from your hand, as well as remove stuff from your ride deck from Solar Drop, so similar to the cast from set 11. So look at the top 7 for a grade 3, that's not your Vanguard, and put it to your hand. And if you did not, you can add this back to your hand and try again, essentially, right? If you have other stuff from your ride deck. Then it says on Guardian, if your drop has 4 or more, this gets 5k shield. Then if your opponent's G-Zone has a card, you can buy any grade 3 or greater from your solo drop, and this gets a 10k to the end of that battle, so it becomes a 20k shield. And they all have the same first effect, and the second effect is the same. It's just, you know, nation specific, right? So that's a pretty good one. I really want to get copies of that because it looks really pretty. But these cards are really cool, but at most you run like 2 of them for the most part, and I haven't seen a deck that really uses any of them in any nation really well, right? At all. Well, that's a pretty good hit from the last pack on the left side here. Let's see what the right side has for us. My boy Andra, Gray Andra, got some support. It's pretty okay. Fanatic Garlic is a pretty good card for actually Claudine here, because when this boosts of plants tokens, it gets 5k for each plant token. So it gets pretty big if you have, you know, just 3 of them, right? Then it says when your plant token in the same column as this unit stands, he stands as well. So that's pretty good. This card is really pretty, but it is one of those Divine Sisters in Keter that just don't do anything. We got a reprint of the Infinity's Eyes marker. We got the Distorted Bane. The FR of this is, like, ironically one of the chase cards for this set. And then we're gonna get ourselves a double rare here in the Almanac Colossus. This is a Liel Odom card. So this says, if this is placed on mirror, if you have regress gauge, you can CB1, draw 1, show charge 1. And if you have 3 or more, this gets a boost. So I feel like that's one of the cards that maybe doesn't actually get played. I'm not entirely sure. But I really like this guy. He looks really cool. This is my favorite of the anti-G zone cards because his art looks really cool. Here is the other monster that makes Edaligma really good. So this says, if you have Edaligma, you can retire this and reveal 3 or more set orders into your hand and put all of them into your order zone. And if you did, you draw a card. So easily allows you to set orders, and of course their effects go off and it bypasses the restriction of playing an order once per turn. I love Divine Sister Pastry so much. And she's actually kind of playable because she just says when she boosts a grade 3 or greater, if her attack hits, you can return to your hand. So that's kind of cute. And she's also, you know, becomes 10k. And I just think her art looks really cool. I wish she had something a little bit more playable, like she put herself into Soul just for no cost, even to give something like 2k. But yeah, here's the Also Guys support card, and we're gonna get ourselves one of the Inquisitive Squirrel here, which is a double rare for Lever Dress. This says at the end of the battle, this unit boosted Soul Blast 1, move this to an open back row rearguard circle, and if it was moved to a rearguard circle with an Infinity's Eyes marker, stand it, and it gets 5k at the end of the turn. So you use the card from, I believe, yeah, the previous set 4 to allow this to attack from the back row. Then you boost with it and then move it to another space where the Infinity Eyes markers is on, presumably where the Anatagaster was, where it attacked from the back row, and then you have the new grade 3 that retires that, and then this can attack from the back row as well, so it gives you a lot of attacks. So it's kind of like a really interesting Magnolia Mask, so that's why I am building that for my fiance. But I feel like I might like the deck. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to actually play it, right? They reprinted Bart here for Eugene. Orpheus got some support as well, which is pretty cool. These are the pieces for Liel Odom, the Ride Line. Here's another Leah Chaffel card. And here is a Forgotten Raziel card, because none of those actually see play. And you can't use them in any other deck. Here is this very interesting little guy that just gets 5k if you have set orders. This is one of the Abundant Yield cards, right? So this one's pretty cool because if you have another Abundant Yield, just get a plant token for free on place. Pretty cool. And then here is the other one, the final one here. So this says you can retire a plant token to have this get 10k. So pretty good. Okay. And we're gonna get ourselves a triple rare. Yeah, this is probably not the best box aside from the SR. Not the best hits, honestly, which is kind of the story for this set. There's like really good hits and then everything else is just not great. But this is Veleno Soldato Leponhela. So when this is placed, if you have Lefscata, use CB1, look at top 7 for either a Veleno or one order card that's not a Regales piece, add it to your hand. Then if you have 3 or more Velenos, this gets 5k power. So this is just a power crept or power creep, or the stronger version of a rare that you got in set 1 of Divines. But I don't know how much that really changes the deck, to be honest. But it is what it is. Youthbird got some support. This is some more Solarian support. Eugene got a new Ride Line. This is a Lascadia card that I don't think sees any play. This is a very silly card in Eugene because it is just the same as a Eugene Dinosaur. It's the same effect, except the Eugene Dinosaur, I think, specifies the old name, which doesn't make sense to me because the new one has the name, so I don't really see the point. But in any case, here's the Manti Zone cards. Flagbird got a new support card, 2 of them, but that's one of them there. This card I think is also really cool for Liel, right? It's a really cool booster, one of the best cards for Liel in this set, ironically. Even if she got a double rare and a triple rare. But this just says when something is bound by Liel, this stands. So you have you can boost, twice, right? And now we're gonna get ourselves another double rare. I kind of hate this card because I keep seeing her. I did a sneak peek, or I got some sneak peek packs, right? 3 of them, and I got 2 of her. This is not my 3rd one. I got 1 of her in FR. So this is a Chris Rain card. This is the double rare Morning to Practice in Calm Sea Tolmana. So when it's placed on mirror, if you have a grade 3 or greater Chris Rain, Soul Blast 2 cards with different names, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 without a Sentinel, reveal it, and if you do not have a rear guard with the same name as that card, call it, and that unit gets 5k shuffle your deck. So because of this, players are playing only 1 copy of the Guard Restrict Girl, because you can just search it out with this. Then this says that when this unit attacks, if you have Chris Rain and your opponent's grade 3 or greater, this gets 5k. So. And we got ourselves here the last pack, which I think should give us 1 more triple rare. Maybe we'll get lucky and get like a triple rare and another SR, but I doubt it. We'll see. Here's the Blitz for Lyrical. Very lyrical filled pack, I'll say that much. And we're gonna get ourselves the Tight Trio. So these are the 3 girls here. So the Tight Trio is a normal order that says you play this with Soul Blast 2. Look at the top 7. Choose 2 of the Amical Pastisseries from among them with different names. Call them to rear and then shuffle your deck. And all right, well, I guess that kind of redeems it. Then we're gonna get our last card here, our last triple as well. And it's gonna be the cover card, Destined 1 of Time Liel Odom. So this has 3 effects. During your turn, all of your front row guys get 5k for each of your distorted banes in the regress gauges. So this is the order that we just looked at. Then it says that when it attacks, you Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your rear guard token or hand, put it face up as your regress gauge. And if you did, this unit gets triple drive specifically, not drive +1, triple drive to the end of the turn. Then it says at the end of the battle, this unit attacked if you have 5 or more regress gauges. Discard 2. Sorry, this is divine skill. Discard 2, and you get an additional turn. Except it's more just an additional battle phase, which I find kind of whack. But cause the concept of an additional turn is cool, but here you skip the you lose a drive, which is whatever, because you can just get triple drive. So that's why it's worded that way. But also you skip the ride phase and main phase. So really all you get is the battle phase and the end phase, and I guess technically the is there a standby phase? I don't think there's a standby phase. So kind of just that, right? So I feel like, I don't know, they could have played around with it more. Obviously, just getting an extra turn is really broken, so I understand the restrictions, but there's nothing in Vanguard where like that kind of matters, right? Like there are cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like it counts the passage of time, but ironically in Vanguard, where they have a whole like clan and deck and everything dedicated to it, that doesn't really like matter. It's just like the grades change, and that's about it. But I know all the freaking Gear Chronicle simps are gonna come at me. No, it's a totally perfect analogy for the way time works. I don't know what you're talking about. You're always wrong. Gear Chronicle is the best. Chronojet did everything good and blah 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 blah. But yeah, Leo Autumn fixes this a bit because the pulls were not the best. It is kind of just hit and miss with this set. I gotta be honest, not my favorite set. There are a lot of people probably might like it. I feel like a lot of people don't like the format too well. Like it's very hit and miss. People love the format a lot. That's mainly because they're playing Levidrus and Raziel and whatnot and Liel. Whereas everyone else is kind of just like, well, none of this is for me, so what do you want me to do? But in any case, best of luck on your pulls. Hope you had better luck than I did. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Play Vanguard and have yourselves a damn good one.